Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Nick and Sharon organize a trip. Victor surprises Claire and Sally backs Billy. The best of the week for the young and the restless. Billy was informed by Jack that he had overreached himself on the young and the restless image. CBS. Jack kept us on the edge of our seats with his savage attack on Billy, Jason Thompson. One of the most encouraging individuals someone can have on their side is the Abbott patriarch. But everything is up in the air if you lose that support. For the time being, Billy has lost one of his best friends. Thus, he should be afraid of what is ahead. Breakups and makeup are the subject of soap operas. It was wonderful to watch Victor and Michael make hesitant attempts at reconciliation. By breaking into Kane's business, Michael hopes to demonstrate his loyalty to Victor. Michael is one of those people who can play both sides of the argument. However, he might want to be careful not to head straight to Newman Enterprises from Kane's train. Cameras are probably everywhere. It was heartwarming when Victor pointed out Kyle's positive traits to Claire, Haley Aaron. In reality, the mogul is giving the Abbott successor a fair chance. Ironically, Victor was the one to support Kyle while tactfully acknowledging Claire's fears. The restless and young moments. Kane prevented anyone from attending Billy and Sally's party on the young and the restless image. CBS. For the Abbott Communications Party, society will be rented out for the evening. Thousands of dollars, probably, even after Abby, played by Melissa Ordway, gave her Uncle Billy a break. Purchasing all of that entertainment, food, alcohol, and wait staff. That might easily be doubled. The expression on Billy and Sally's, Courtney Hope, faces when they entered and discovered that Kane was the only person there? Priceless. When will Genoa City residents understand that they shouldn't support the unstable billionaire? The devil you know is sometimes superior to the devil you don't. When Billy was unconscious on the couch the morning following their altercation, Sally's encouraging gaze was endearing. She still has feelings for him. He claimed to be having a dream. He always was, she said gently. Despite everything, she still loves him. The only reason we're cheering for these two is because we're worried about Billy's future if he loses her. Seeing the re-examination of Michael and Phyllis's relationship was fantastic. Over the years, these two former Genoa City villains, best friends, and criminal partners have been close as thieves. If Phyllis is present, how long can Michael continue to work as a double agent for Kane's company? Kyle deserves praise for being receptive to the idea that Holden may not be the villain in this situation. Even though there was still a lot of hostility in the combative situations between the two men, Kyle remained receptive to Holden's repeated claims that he posed no threat. I tried to kill a man, Mariah finally admitted when asked why she and Tessa Mariah broke up. On The Young and the Restless, Nick revealed a secret to Sharon Case, Image, JPI. This upcoming story about Noah, Lucas Adams, has us completely intrigued. We found out that a trip to Los Angeles is in the works when Nick gave Sharon the rundown on their son. We were reminded of Phyllis's vulnerability to her ex-husband when she and Nick, Joshua Morrow, spent time together in Chancellor Park. If Phyllis had to choose between wealth and power and maintaining Nick's affection for her, it seems clear that she would go for the latter. There are certain loves that just never die. Phyllis's eyes make it obvious that she would be content to live out the rest of her days with Nick. YNR surprises us by pairing up scene partners who, despite their seeming oddity, make perfect sense. We adored Victoria and Kyle's relationship at Crimson Lights, for instance. Victoria is the ideal person to assist Kyle in getting in touch with Claire. Notes. On The Young and the Restless, Diane Susan Walters is catching up with Kyle. Image, CBS. Given that she spent several years apart from Kyle, we understand why Diane wants to make up for lost time. But she and Jack could consider reducing their helicopter parenting. He has a son of his own and is an adult. Bravo to YNR for including Diane's knowledge of Kyle in the conversation. It was a great touch that Claire knocked on her grandfather Victor's office door before going inside. The GCAC is the only revolving door in Genoa City. There should be some respect for Victor's office. Victoria also knocked on the door and stepped inside. Being Victor's firstborn child and a seasoned worker at Newman Enterprises, Vicky enjoys more freedom than most. We virtually get whiplash watching the redhead think on her feet, vow allegiances, and change on a dime because Phyllis is the epitome of energy in motion. What's on her mind? We're eager to see what comes next. Sally from The Young and the Restless is Audra's good friend, Image. JPI. Audra can tell that Sally is hesitant to attend the Abbott Communications launch party. You're afraid I'll ruin the atmosphere or an actual guest, Audra said. Audra lashes out at Kyle for having the audacity to threaten her. Well, it's because formidable, Sally said. You pose a danger. That's your level of intimidation. You sort of targeted his relationship as well. Audra is terrified of attending a party with Claire. Audra, Sally, she's going to put something in my drink and watch me foam by the mouth. When Claire had her reservations, Victor stood behind Kyle and Genoa City froze over. Victor, I think Kyle forced the issue with Audra by doing what he had to do. Nick tells Sharon what artificial intelligence is and how it can harm businesses like Newman Enterprises. Sharon responds, that can't really exist, can it? Nick is asked by Sharon how Victor can stop Kane. Nick, blackmail. Naturally. Sharon replied, The Young and the Restless Nick, played by Joshua Morrow, spent some time alone with Phyllis at Chancellor Park. Photo, CBS. Nick and Phyllis are this close. Thank you for saving me from myself, said Phyllis. Always, even though I know you can usually handle things like this yourself, said Nick. Thanks for butting in, said Phyllis. Nick and Phyllis are on a high point in Chancellor Park with a view of the city. Do you think Kane ever comes up here? Asked Nick. Looks down over Genoa City from where I stand. Considers how he can be the expert in every survey he conducts. Phyllis, perhaps. Nick, is it something you ever do? Phyllis, perhaps. The Restless and Young fashion. At least Sally's Courtney Hope party attire was visible to Nick, Joshua Morrow, on The Young and the Restless Image, CBS. The fact that so few people saw Sally's explosive outfit is the real reason why Sally and Billy's celebration was called off. Click here to learn more about Sally's blue keyhole dress. Take a look at Phyllis's gorgeous attire from her rendezvous with Nick in Chancellor Park. Here are details on her clothing, which is dark green and has a huge flower motif. Esther can dress appropriately for her employment at Crimson Lights in her maid uniform. You can learn more about the blue flowery blouse she wore last week here. Would Audra attend the event wearing her outfit from earlier in the day? Here are the details about her red, asymmetric top, but we'll never know. Even though fall hasn't arrived yet, Mariah is prepared for the cold with her cozy flannel shirt. Find out more about it here. Nick is better than most at sporting polo shirts. He recently wore a green shirt on the program, and this is the information on it. Musings of the Restless and the Young. Claire's admission on The Young and the Restless that she harmed her family doesn't deter Holden Image. JPI. Holden and Audra brought up their relationship in Los Angeles. Does this have anything to do with Nick, Sharon, and Noah's next story? We're curious. The question of why Claire's admission that she came to Genoa City with a grudge and that she had ruined her grandmother's sobriety hasn't scared Holden away was even more intriguing. Although it's unlikely we wouldn't be against Nick and Sally getting back together. In Genoa City, he is the most encouraging ex-husband. Considering that she stands by Billy, Sally is the most devoted and amazing girlfriend. We couldn't imagine these two arguing much if they reconciled. It's pleasant when they run into one another, as was the case when Sally arrived at Crimson Lights and ran into Nick just as he was wrapping up for the evening. Sally is more than just Billy's loyalist. She also strongly supports her friend Audra. There aren't many pals for Audra. Sally doesn't abandon people. Sets are as recognizable as soap opera characters. We enjoy visiting famous sites like Crimson Lights, the Abbott Mansion, the Newman Ranch, and Victor's office. To stay on top of all the business partnerships that appear to be changing constantly, we need a scorecard. Will anyone be deterred from using the AI software by the threat of jail time? Kyle reminded everyone that Harrison would soon be returning home. Will he grow old? Keep an eye out. Claire has a great deal of courage. She expects Kyle to be completely honest, although she herself arrived in Genoa City with malice toward her own family. Do you want more Y&R? Check out the Young and the Restless page for the best of the week and other features on Soap Central, the scoop for spoilers, daily recaps, and 2 scoops for weekly commentary. Soap operas are never simply about romance or business battles. They are also about timing, betrayal, support, and the brittleness of trust. This is why The Young and the Restless succeeds. The stories from this past week eloquently illustrated those ideas. A web of tension, love, and opportunity was woven together by Sally's devotion to Billy, Victor's unexpected tenderness toward Claire, and Nick and Sharon's covert trip preparation. The way the characters' pasts influence each encounter and serve as a reminder that Genoa City is a city where history is never forgotten and forgiveness is rarely easy is what gives these moments their resonance, in addition to the dialogue's emotional tug. Sally's steadfast support of Billy has emerged as one of the canvas's most significant emotional pillars. Kane's meddling caused the Abbott Communications launch party to fail spectacularly, leaving Billy disgraced and adrift, his leadership called into question, and his vision ridiculed. Billy's fears of being taken seriously were reflected in empty chairs at Society, which represented more than just a poor turnout. Billy has long been viewed as the impetuous Abbott, a man with ideas but no action. But Sally doesn't want to see him from his detractors' point of view. When she sees him, she sees more than just a dreamer. She sees someone who is worthy of love, support, and a reminder that failure does not define him. Her silent act of support, in which she reminded him that she still loved him despite his propensity to dream, was a subdued yet impactful statement. Gestures frequently convey more information than words in soap operas, and Sally's choice to stick by Billy demonstrated her willingness to put her own reputation at stake for him. In the next weeks, that loyalty might be put to the test, but for now, it is what keeps Billy together. In contrast, Jack's scathing defeat of Billy served as a reminder to everyone that even the most devoted families have their limits. Billy's strongest advocate, Jack Abbott, has always stood up for him when no one else would. However, Jack lost his tolerance this week. Not only were the Abbott patriarch's remarks severe, but they also served as a wake-up call that reverberated long after the discussion was over. Jack is more than simply a brother. He is a shield, thus Billy risks losing his support on an emotional and professional level. Without him, Billy might be more exposed than ever to competitors like Kane who are just waiting for the right opportunity to attack. Although Sally's presence lessens the blow, the stakes are also raised. Billy might end himself completely alone if he wastes her faith the way he has wasted Jack's. Meanwhile, Victor Newman made one of the most unexpected and heartfelt announcements of the week. Victor, who is well known for his brutal tactics and unbreakable demeanor, shocked everyone by treating Claire more gently. Victor could have brushed her concerns aside or used them as fuel for his continuing chess game with the Abbotts when she confided in him about her doubts about Kyle. Rather, he shocked her and the audience by highlighting Kyle's advantages. Victor's assurance was an unexpected source of support for Claire, who frequently feels alienated within her own family. Naturally, the irony is that Victor has been fighting the Abbotts for decades. Being the one to stand up for Kyle revealed a unique aspect of the mogul, a grandfather who values preserving family relationships just as much as winning business battles. Victor's character gained a new dimension as a result of this change, one that challenges the perception of him as a merciless behemoth. The timing of this scene adds much greater significance. The shame of her previous transgressions, notably her grudge against her family, and feelings of inadequacy have plagued Claire. Victor's acceptance of her fears without passing judgment gave her a sense of security that she doesn't often get. It served as a reminder that kindness may emerge from the most unlikely sources, even in a society full of treachery and plots. Victor's tacit support of Kyle served more purposes than just defending Kyle. It also served to persuade Claire to find worth where she had previously only seen doubt. This scene reminded seasoned viewers of Victor's own transformation from outsider to patriarch, implying that he might recognize some aspects of himself in Claire. Then there was the more subdued, intimate thread that ran through the tale of Nick and Sharon. According to their discussion about Noah, the ex-couple, who fans lovingly refer to as Kama, is getting ready for a trip to Los Angeles. This may appear to be a straightforward family plot at first glance, but to those who have followed Nick and Sharon's turbulent past, it symbolizes something more complex. The energy changes whenever these two are by themselves. Nick continues to confide in Sharon, the one person he always feels comfortable sharing his emotions with. While organizing a trip together evokes feelings of nostalgia, it also suggests unresolved feelings. Even if their son may be the main focus of the vacation, the act of traveling together may rekindle the passion that has bound them together for many years. Their scenes gained interest from Sharon's naive inquiries concerning Newman Enterprises and artificial intelligence. It emphasized Nick's function as a mediator between Newman power struggles and private family matters, in addition to her separation from the business world of ruthlessness. His remark that Victor's favorite tactic is blackmail was amusing and insightful. Even when they are dealing with serious situations, Sharon's ability to center Nick through humor, naturally, was demonstrated. Regardless of how many times they had split up, their banter, which is loaded with ease and tenderness, demonstrated that their relationship's base is still strong. Fans saw these moments as tempting hints of a potential reconciliation, which many who have always supported them would welcome. Of all, without the repercussions of other dynamics, no week in Genoa City would be complete. Viewers were reminded of the delightful pandemonium that may result when Phyllis and Michael are in each other's orbit by their reunion of their former friendship. Since Phyllis is close by and has a talent for revealing secrets, Michael's attempt to join Kane's business adds danger to his plot. Despite their heated arguments, Kyle's readiness to remain open-minded about Holden suggested that the Abbott heir would mature, while Mariah's admission of attempting to murder a man ultimately provided context for her split with Tessa. The primary arcs were enhanced by each of these subplots, which intertwined the inevitable collision of emotional and professional stakes. As usual, fashion was part of the narrative. Sally's gorgeous blue keyhole dress, squandered on a postponed celebration, was nearly symbolic of beauty and hard work ruined by treachery. In her interactions with Nick, Phyllis wore a garment with a green floral motif that emphasized her vulnerability while retaining her characteristic aggressiveness. Even Esther's flowery shirt from Crimson Lights had meaning. It served as a subdued reminder of the program's dedication to celebrating enduring figures who represent Genoa City. These clothing selections serve as narrative devices as well as costumes, discreetly expressing the intents, arc, and mood of each character. The week also flourished due to its quotable lines, insightful moments, and humorous moments that counterbalance the drama. At the party, Audra's comments about being frothing at the mouth or spiked demonstrated her keen sense of humor, while also highlighting her developing paranoia. Victor demonstrated his readiness to defend conduct that others might find objectionable when he said that Kyle had to do what he had to do to Audra. Additionally, Nick and Phyllis's jokes in Chancellor Park, when they wonder if Kane looks down at Genoa City while picturing his power, combined fun and threat. These conversations maintained a lively tone and served as a reminder to viewers that Y&R is as much about deft wit as it is about shocking truths. The subject of assistance in unexpected places was maybe the most effective way to bring the entire week together. When everyone else made fun of Billy, Sally stood by him. Victor's encouragement of Kyle gave Claire comfort. As they got ready to help their son, Nick was there to encourage Sharon. Even supporting characters like Holden and Audra examined what it means to support someone, whether through confrontation or loyalty. These moments of solidarity felt uncommon, valuable, and deserving of celebration in a society as unstable as Genoa City, where alliances change as fast as the weather. The foundation for escalation has been meticulously established. As Billy's plots become riskier and his detractors become more vocal, Sally's commitment to him will undoubtedly be put to the test. Victor's readiness to be compassionate might either heal strained bonds or be turned against him by adversaries who view generosity as weakness. Additionally, Nick and Sharon's vacation may bring up past emotions, which would complicate their responsibilities within the Newman business as well as their personal lives. To keep viewers interested, each plot line is tinged with both danger and promise. This week was one of the best in recent memory because it combined heartfelt, character-driven passages of love and vulnerability with the major moments of betrayal and business competition. The Young and the Restless provided viewers with both spectacle and relatability, which is why soap operas have endured. The show never forgets that behind every corporate takeover and romantic entanglement, there is a human being looking for acceptance, forgiveness, and connection. This is evident in everything from the empty party at Society to the silent confessions in Victor's office and Chancellor Park.